So today I want to talk about the three main types of stores people use within the dropshipping business model. It's really important to be able to distinguish each type of store and understand the pros and cons of each type of store, because the type of store you pick hugely affects the efficiency of your work and the structure of your store. In this video, I'll dive deep into each type of store and talk about what they're best used for, as well as the benefits and the drawbacks of each of them. At the end of the video, I'll talk about the store that I like to use the most, which is a one-product general store. So the first thing that I want to talk about is that no matter what store you choose, the fundamentals of a business stay the same. That means having great marketing, an enticing product, a good quality product, and everything else that comes with having a successful business. The only thing that's going to change with the different stores that you choose is, like I said before, the structure of your store and the efficiency of your work. So the first store that I want to talk about is a general store. Since this is the most popular type of dropshipping store, there are some frequently asked questions that I want to go over. One of the first questions that I want to talk about is, are the conversion rates going to be lower? I think that the conversion rates are going to be slightly lower just because there's a small portion of your audience that's going to surface site and see kitchen products beside cleaning products beside kids' toys, which can be a little bit off-putting. But with that being said, you also have to remember that the majority of people that visit your store are doing so out of impulse. So your marketing and your product is really what's going to make the biggest difference. I've seen two general stores with the exact same product, but one is much more successful than the other. And this is solely because of the marketing. If you're able to stir emotion in your customer, that's the main factor that's going to convert them. The second question I want to go over is, does a general store look unprofessional and spammy? Any store that you make can look unprofessional and spammy. Although it is harder to make your store look branded with a general store, it can definitely be done. An example of this is with Hygo. Although they have different products, as you can see here, it looks like a professional store. The key is having nice pictures with a soft color palette. Here you can see they only use black, white, and a burgundy color. Nothing that contrasts too much with the other colors of their products. This is important because you're going to have so many different colors from your products, so a softer contrast between them and the other colors can really go a long way in making your store look professional and not spammy. So another question is, do I need to transition into a branded store? In my opinion, it's not necessary to, but you can. There are definitely benefits to doing so, such as having a higher conversion rate and charging a higher price. But to do so, you need to make sure the quality of the product is good enough to sustain a brand in the first place, and to ensure that you have the proper back end in place. So, even though you have a winning product, I would suggest waiting at least 6 months to ensure that you have the back end in place, you know what you're doing, and that product is good quality, so that when you do build this brand, it will be successful. One of the pros for a general store is that it's great for beginners. As a beginner, you might not always have the skills to develop a proper looking branded store. So a general store really masks this gap in skill that a lot of beginners need to work on. And this skill of making a beautiful store is just something that comes with practice. Also, beginners typically go through a lot of trial and error in the beginning stages of dropshipping, so having a general store where you can test a lot of products is really beneficial. Another pro is that you have the freedom to sell a variety of different products. There are so many different products you can sell on AliExpress, and having a general store really capitalizes on this. A lot of people worry about what niche you want to be in, but you don't even have to worry about this because you can be in all of them. Another pro of a general store is that it's efficient when testing in volume. So when you test more than one product on a general store, the only extra work you have to do is making the marketing material and the product page. Now, if you compare this to testing more than one product in a one product store, you can be much more efficient in a general store. And especially when you're testing a lot of products and you're trying to find your first winner, efficiency is key. You have to bear in mind that, especially for the beginners out there, this is typically going to take more than one product to find your first winner. So as a beginner, having a general store to efficiently test in volume is going to be really beneficial to growing your skills and trying to find this profitable product or the winning product as soon as possible. So one of the cons of a general store is that it's difficult to build a passionate audience. Although it is possible, like Hygo, why would someone turn to Gadget Lifestyle 123 for their general store needs instead of a Walmart or Amazon? Typically after a customer buys once from a general store, they're most likely not coming back. Another con of the general store is that you must continue finding winners. The previous point that I just made, that it's difficult to build a passionate audience, is exactly why you have to continue finding new winners to be successful with the general store. Just because someone bought a mop from Gadget Lifestyle 123, the chances of them also buying a new posture corrector from your store is highly unlikely. Where in a niche store, someone would have a much higher chance of buying another product because it's within the same niche. The next store that I want to talk about is the niche store. A niche store is pretty much any type of store that specializes in a certain type of product. The first pro that I want to talk about is that it's great for upselling. In my last example, if someone bought a product from you in the past, and if they had a good experience, chances are they'll buy from you again. With the niche store, you can also use email marketing really efficiently. Email marketing is a high converting free way of driving traffic to your store, and it's a lot easier to upsell products that are within the same niche. And if you add email marketing with upselling, it can be a really great way to boost your revenue. So with the niche store, it's also easier to transition into a brand. A niche store is easier to transition into a brand because it's focused. A brand isn't simply colors or a logo or even a slogan. The foundation of a brand is its message and how it makes people feel. So if you think about Coca-Cola, you think about happiness. And if you think about Johnson & Johnson, you think about your family. But when you think about Amazon, nothing really comes to mind. And if you think about Walmart, nothing really comes to mind either. Maybe just convenience. But by having a specific type of product that you sell, it's a lot easier to have a message and to promote a feeling into your customers when they hear your company name. Another pro of the niche store is that you have a higher lifetime customer value. Again, going back to the email marketing example, this is a huge plus for niche stores because you can continue to show your previous audience new products that you have in your store. You can even use your email marketing as a pre-testing campaign. Let's say you have 3 new products you have to test in your niche store. Instead of using Facebook to determine which one you want to move forward with, you can just use your email list. An email list can be an extremely powerful asset, and it works best with the niche store. One of the cons of a niche store is that you're limited to the products you're able to test. A lot of my students ask me what niche they should go in, but I always tell them to let the product dictate which niche you join and not the other way around. By doing so, you can avoid boxing yourself into a corner and forced to pick a subpar product just because your niche seems to be popping off. Another con is that it's inefficient for testing in high volume. So if you make a niche store and the product that you're testing just doesn't work, you'll either have a really hard time finding another great product to test within your niche, or have to repeat the entire process of creating a new niche store again, which can be very time consuming and highly inefficient. So now that I've talked a little bit about the niche store, let's get into the one product store. So for the one product store, you're mainly just focusing on one product. You're going to look like the originator of the product, and your whole domain, everything with your whole website, your whole company is going to be focused on selling this one product. So the first pro of the one product store is that you're perceived as a product originator. So a big question I get from my students that are starting off dropshipping is, what about Amazon? They're the biggest retailer in the game. My answer to that is that the most purchases you'll get from dropshipping is purely out of impulse. Your customers won't even think twice about Amazon if you pick a product that is unique and is not found in traditional stores. Now for a one product store, Amazon is even less of an issue because customers will perceive you as the originator of your product. So even if they do check Amazon, if you're comparing Amazon with your one product store, chances are your customers are going to pick the one product store. Just imagine, it feels a lot better buying your iPhone from the Apple store than buying it from Best Buy. It just hits differently. Another pro of the one product store is that it's easier to transition into a brand. And also, just because you have that one product, if you sell other products within the same niche, you can have a higher customer lifetime value. So one of the cons of the one product store, which is a huge con, is that it's highly inefficient. Just like a niche store, it's highly inefficient to test products in high volume. To paint the picture for you, I made a slide to highlight all the extra tasks that come along with testing more than one product in a niche store and a one product store. So for a general store, all you have to do is change the marketing or create new marketing material and create a new product page. But for one product and niche store, you have to make marketing material, a product page, a domain name, payment processor information, a new Facebook page, Instagram page, legal pages, a logo, an email, a banded cart automation, and a color scheme. So as you can see, the difference in creating or testing more products in a general store versus a one product or niche store is huge. So the type of store that I talked about earlier that I like to use is the one product general store. And what the one product general store is, it combines the general store and the one product store so that you can reap the benefits of both of them. You can test in high volume efficiently, and you can focus on a single product at a time and seem like you're the originator. So it takes the great aspects of the general store and the one product store and it puts it together. Another pro of the one product general store is that it's the best type of store to rapid prototype. So what rapid prototyping is when you test the concept of a product before you make a fully fledged version of it. This tactic is used by a lot of different companies because it saves a lot of time and money. Instead of pouring all this time and money into a model, let's say this car, that they have no idea if it works or not, they create a stripped down model of it so that they can test the proof of concept. I apply this exact same principle to testing dropshipping products. I put most of my time and effort into the aspects of the store that's going to make or break my product, which is the product selection, the marketing, and the product page. Although I'm still going to have a social media, I'm still going to have abandoned cart sequences, a logo, and a domain name, I'm not going to put as much emphasis on it until I know that this product and this marketing angle works. This way we can test products efficiently and optimize the amount of time spent working. So that's the end of the video. I just want to thank you guys for watching my first ever YouTube video. And if you guys have any questions at all, you can comment below or message me at any of these social media platforms. And if you guys got any value at all, it means a lot to me. And if you can give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and if you want to, you can hit the bell notification button. So thank you to the 5 viewers out there that watch this video. See you guys.